Yo, JD here, and as you can see, we are not on F1 22, although there is an F1 car on the screen. We are back on iRacing, and you can already see if you look at the webcam and as we drive out of the pits here, we are very, very excited to be back on iRacing and trying the brand new W13 that they have just put in the game for this week. And I really wanted to get out in this car. Obviously F1 official games are the ones that I've been playing for many years, so I thought, why not give it a try in iRacing. I did test, as you can see on the screen here now, just that very faint smile already coming into action. But I did try the W12, so the Mercedes from last year, which they released a while ago, and I tried that one. You can see straight away being caught out with the brakes, but even when it goes wrong, I'm still enjoying myself. Honestly, I've had such a good time playing this game. It's something I can't comprehend why I didn't get into it sooner. I have well and truly caught the iRacing bug right now. And as always, if you do enjoy these videos, please post down below what you would like me to do next, and please like the video as well. That really does help let me know that you are enjoying it as well. And I think with my content recently, I'm definitely going to be focusing on things that I always have tried to do, things that I enjoy, but I've always been a bit scared to get away from the official F1 games. But to see you guys actually enjoying it just as much as I do as well really does motivate me to just dive much deeper down the rabbit hole. And in today's video, we're going to be at Magny Cours, which is a track they've just released on the game as well. And I used to drive this back on F1 2006 back on the PlayStation controller, so I do know the layout, but it has been quite a few years since I have driven it at all. And first thing to say, no surprise, the car feels absolutely amazing to drive, and you could just see that throughout this video. We just absolutely loved it, and it feels night and day difference to the Formula 1 games, the official ones by Codemasters, which of course is not a simulation, so can't really compare the two. But the main thing again is I just love having the feeling that I can feel what's about to happen to the car, so I can anticipate when you're going to lose that traction, when you're going to have that snap of oversteer. Me having the ability to actually predict that, rather than relying on my visuals and looking at the screen itself. So they are very two different worlds completely, and you have to respect each one. But the feeling I get from this car, and iRacing have actually worked with Mercedes themselves on this is probably the closest you can always get to a true replica of what an F1 car feels like. I think on R Factor as well, they are very much known for having almost the best simulation in open wheel cars and F1 cars. But this isn't really too far away from what I've been told, and it was just felt absolutely immense. In the slow speed corners, there was actually quite a bit of understeer, which is the nature of the regulations from last year. But in the high speed corners, when you do generate that downforce, when you are carrying that speed, like going through the first section and the middle section, which you'll see a bit later in the video, just the feeling of immersion you get is just absolutely insane, and it just is so satisfying to drive. You can also notice on the screen we have a input of the braking and the telemetry also on the bottom right of the screen as well, and on the top left. Those are actual additions onto the game, so I think it's called Race Apps if I'm not mistaken. Check the link down in the description, because they do really add another dimension to the game as well, because iRacing itself doesn't really give you as much information as you would think on the screen itself, but having these on board and on the screen, just it really does transform the experience even further. And in this video, you notice the only thing we are changing is the brake bias. Because this week in iRacing, because they have different weeks with different tracks and cars, so it's actually the 13th week, which is actually the final week of the current season. They are allowing races in this car for all drivers, I believe. I don't know if it counts for rookies as well, but it's going to be fixed car setups. The track changes every week, and you can change the brake bias, but you can't change the ERS mode. So that's why I'm not changing the ERS mode at all. I've just kept it in the balance, as you can see by the steering wheel. The only thing we're changing is the brake bias, and we're keeping it on the fixed setup. So I imagine with an actual setup on, this car will feel even more insane. But again, please let me know what your thoughts are. Does it live up to the expectations, or were you expecting a bit more? Because I have heard a few mixed reviews, actually, in fact, on this car. But you can see, even when you make a mistake here, we've just got a smile on my face, because I just love feeling connected to the car, and this car truly does do that. So coming through, did we take this flat out this time? So still doing a little lift, but as I was getting more and more confidence in the car, I was starting to see what it was actually capable of. And combined with this circuit, one of my favourite tracks that I've driven in the past, it just, yeah, the force feedback through the wheel. I think, again, this is where a direct drive wheel is arguably maybe worth the money. If you are playing on different games, different sims, predominantly if you're a PC user as well, then, and you're really looking for the immersion factor, then I would say that is definitely is worth it. But if you're just playing the official F1 games, then I would say maybe the CSL Pro DD, the Gran Turismo one, whichever one you want to get, the 8 Newton meters of torque, or the one that's less than that, 5 Newton meters, then that's probably actually sufficient for you, or maybe even a Thrustmaster or something like that. But if you really want to experience these games in its maximum glory, then a direct drive wheel is where it really does make the difference as well. One thing you can also notice is that the frames do drop on certain parts of the track. That isn't actually on my end, that's actually from the game itself. That's something they are looking to be fixing. So certain parts of the track, it does have a bit more drop in frames. And myself and many others who I've actually spoken to with a lot of advice, so again, please keep the advice coming. If you increase the frames, so I've got it locked on 84 right now, but if you increase it to 100 or something like that, if you're recording, then it does really drop the frames quite badly. So this is probably the best I can do right now. If you're not recording or anything at all, then I could be running in 100 to 200 frames per second without any issue whatsoever. It's just that the recording software, unfortunately, even OBS does struggle to handle it. So hopefully that answers a few people's questions. But you can see here now, we're not using the DRS yet either, so this is just completely stock at this point, not using the ERS modes, not using the DRS, and coming across the line, they almost losing the car, but that was an 18.1, and you can see again, just having a very, very nice time. So, coming through here now, I believe this is actually my fastest lap I did without the DRS at all, if I'm not mistaken. So coming through into Turn 1, see we actually get a really poor exit coming through here, but actually no, this is with the DRS, sorry. So you can see those 4 green lights on the left of the steering wheel. This is my first lap of me actually using the DRS itself. The lap you saw before was my fastest one I did without using it. So you can see on the straight we gained about 3 or 4 tenths just through that straight alone. I think there is 2 DRS zones around this track, so completely flat out going through here, which is absolutely nuts. This corner with the brakes as well, a lot of people said to me that you don't even need to really go maximum on the brakes, because the brakes are actually quite fairly unrealistic on iRacing. They're quite snatchy and twitchy, so I'm trying my best to be as smooth as I can on the brakes, not going quite to the 100%. Going through into here, recharge dry brake quite nicely, but going through into here, so easy to lose the car again, just the understeer for the slow speed corners. But then we've got another DRS zone. As you can see here, the 4 green lights are activated again. You can see how much speed I gain to in a straight line, but it's crucial, especially for the slow speed corners, that you get the line right. So yeah, that was our first lap with the DRS, and that was a 17.98. But you can see we're getting quite a bit of time again. Completely flat out through here now. So the downforce is absolutely immense. But then going through here in the slow speed corners, yeah, we're still having fun regardless. But this is actually my fastest lap that we start on the next one. So coming through into here, we are a little bit up on our previous time, making a really bad exit coming to here. So on to start finish straight. Oh, we must have had a poor exit from our previous best lap previously. But coming into this turn one, completely flat out through your section. So your neck will be ripping from your head. Wants to keep it nice and tight coming through into here. So you can see getting all that time. And you're about to see from the webcam, we're a bit shocked that we're that much up. So DRS is activated. So braking as late as you dare coming through into 100% just for a split second, trying to get the rotation. The traction is also fairly difficult, but the good thing is that it's consistent. Consistent being the key word. So you can be confident on the power in this car. Coming to quite a late apex, a really awkward corner. Don't know which part you want to take fast, which part you want to take slow, but we're about 4/10 up. Coming through here, this is absolutely nuts. Taking this completely flat out. We actually missed the apex going into it, which compromises our exit. Come into here, try and keep it nice and tight. You can see that time we gain through into here. So lost a little bit on the exit, but kind of maintained our advantage going through into here. So increasing the brake bias, just increase that stopping distance just a little bit. They're coming through into here, coming through the last chicane. Let's see what we can do here. Not too bad, and going across the line. It's a 17.6. And yeah, that is my first experience playing in the W13. Please let me know what your thoughts are of this car. What would you like me to do next? And again, please continue the advice, because it honestly, without you guys and a lot of individuals around me, I wouldn't be enjoying this as much as I am. And I absolutely love this game. It just the way the online works. And what we'll be doing next video is we'll actually be doing a race in this car as well. So I'm looking forward to bringing you that. But you can see the main thing for me is that although we're making mistakes and we're learning and it's becoming quite difficult, we are still enjoying ourselves. And I haven't enjoyed myself this much for a long time playing a video game. And yeah, honestly, it's absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you enjoyed the rest of your week and the weekend. And I'll be catching you very, very soon. Peace.